has to find this move. The blue arrow makes an appearance. Queen e6 or Pragg is back in the game, David.
Oh, did you see that on the camera? He did a little stretch, Pragg, and Vincent doesn't play it. He blows the win, double question mark. The computer says it's back to level. It's back to a draw. He's giving up a pawn. He's trying to line up his bishop and queen on this diagonal, but it's a bluff. It shouldn't work. Pragg just takes it.
Take it. Of course he just takes it. Where do you line up? The queen on b8 is doing a fantastic job of keeping everything defended. There are no checks in the position. The bar is level.
And checkmate threatened, but Pragg can just walk his king away from this checkmate threat. Do you just run now? Do you move your king? The only other move I can see here, Tanya, is to block with a pawn. That's an option as well, but I think I would run with the king. I don't see any checkmating.
Run, Pragg, run. g6 just looks incredibly dangerous. He's reaching out for the king. King g8 appears. The queen on the back rank is defended, so no check on the 8th rank will be a killer move. There will be no ideas of winning the queen with a check. Pragg is back in the game, and how? He's the one with an extra pawn. David, if there's no checkmate, white has nothing to play for here. There's no strategic advantage anymore. Everything's lost.
Wow, Vincent not playing practical chess. He gives a check. He's still got some chances if Pragg goes wrong, but Pragg hides his king in the corner again, still surviving the checkmate. But Vincent, what he should have done is just make 20 quick moves with his pawn, with his, I don't know, queen, bishop earlier, built up some time to think, and then go for the breakthrough. He went for the breakthrough with a minute left on his own clock, Vincent, and he just has no time to work out the way forward. Now he's blown the win. He went from a pawn up to a pawn down, Tanya, as you're saying. And this is all based on trapping, checkmating the black king. But it was an illusion, an optical illusion. There is no checkmate. The black king will run anytime checkmate is threatened. And the dark squared blockade, we were joking about fortresses, but it proved to be the case. Black holding everything on the dark squares. And look at Pragg. He knows he's so close now to the tournament victory.
He does. It's been a complete shift in Pragg. The way he's sitting, the confidence he's showing. He knows this is his moment. He's past the worst right now. He just needs to be careful about the one move checkmating idea. Can he still run with his king to g8? Can he just continue with the same defensive idea? Or has Vincent set up something tricky there?
Wow, Tanya, I've just checked the computer. h6 would win if black moves the king now. The king move worked previously, but it would lose now on the spot. If Pragg moves his king, he's losing. He has to try something else. He has to, for example, give a check with the black queen, or maybe bring the black queen over to defend. He cannot touch his king, Pragg. Otherwise, we might be going to a playoff.
And he's got 40 seconds to figure that out. And he realizes the dangers because he hasn't played it instantly. King g8, h6. Once again, the tables would turn and Vincent Keimer would be in a winning position. Pragg needs to use the queen to guard the king right now. He has to put the queen on that square and not the king. This is a move that will decide the championship. David, he's got to find it.
15 seconds for Pragg. He cannot touch his king. He has to move his queen. He has to give a check. There's only two moves to survive. A check or first, just landing the queen on a defensive square. He's reaching for the queen. Oh.
He changes his mind at the last moment, gives a check, and he says, bishop f5, then I'll put my queen to g8, gets another 30 seconds on that. But one thing's clear, he's seen the idea that it's the queen that needs to defend the checkmate.
Wow, changing his mind there with just a couple of seconds left on his clock. That was daredevil chess from Pragg, but he does find the key defensive idea. He's curled up into a ball. The black king can't move, the black queen can't move, but they don't need to move, Tanya. And his bishop will just pass if the move is given back to him. Vincent retreats his king. And now, Pragg has another only move. Vincent not out of it yet, testing Pragg. Bishop back to f6. The blue arrow shows it. Everything else loses. The only safe square for that bishop. Tanya, will he find it?
And it's a tough one, right? Because you're always looking at this move h6. And you're placing a bishop on a square where it's actually coming in the way, where it's actually provoking white to play h6. David, there are ideas of coming with your queen to d5, forcing the white bishop to e4. I'm not really understanding why is bishop f6 the only move. Why is that the only way to keep the balance here?
That is so difficult. I think just the fact that the other bishop moves along the other diagonal, they just lead nowhere. You need your bishop near your king. So when white eventually does try to reroute the bishop to attack the black queen, that you can use the bishop as a bit of a blockader. He finds it, Pragg, again. Only move found. Wow. He has a second career as a tightrope walker, Tanya, if he ever wants one. He's living life in the fast lane, on the edge, and surviving just about by the skin of his teeth.
He finds the only move with just 4 seconds on the clock. Pragg is back to being on beast mode. David, given that opportunity, it all comes down to that move F4. You know, he felt it. Practically, he's back in the game. You could see it. You could sense it in him looking at him on the screen. Vincent, he's not going to give up. He's going to play this out. Despite being a pawn down, there are no dangers to white because Vincent's bishop and queen have stopped all activity of Pragg's queen. Oh my goodness, what happened?
Tanya, nearly every other bishop move was a draw. He could have moved his bishop to any other safe square and he might have held, but now his bishop is going to be lost.
8-6 on the board. And did you see that Pragg played bishop e5? He looked up like he just had a realization that it was the wrong square. Loose pieces dropped off. That bishop on e5 can come under checks and be won. But is it that clear to you? Yes, 8-6 is on the board. But what's next? Why is this still so dangerous? Let's say you move the bishop away. You go bishop to f6. Why is this winning?
Oh, we still need to find that knockout blow. Is there a checkmate? He moves the other way. Wow, bishop f6 was one question, Tanya, there. I do think that maybe white was actually threatening to knock black out on the spot there. So he moves his bishop to a safe square for now, but how long can he stay safe?
David, you're completely... He does move back with pawn takes pawn. The queen picks...
Would be just moving my king, gaining a bit of time on the clock. The white bishop, if it ever moves, would allow the black queen to jump out with a check. So you have to be a bit careful about moving your bishop out the way right now. I don't think taking this pawn does the business yet. Vincent retreats his queen. Very classy move. Tanya, it's a forced checkmate. Vincent spots it. He can do it with a series of checks. We see a trade. The white queen is going to slide back now on the diagonal. There we go. And as soon as the black king moves, it will get checked by the white bishop. Checkmate's coming. Pragg's about to resign. We're going to tie breaks. Gukash is back in the tournament.
And Pragg knows it. It's over in 2 moves. The bishop check followed by checkmate. And as the realization dawns on Pragg, and he was so close to saving this one. David, this is heartbreaking to watch. A 6-7 hour battle here. And it's about to end right now.
And there we go. It is a handshake. Praggnandhaa resigns. Vincent Keymer, congratulations to him. He takes the win. He ends the tournament on a high. Very impressive from the German Grandmaster there. Never relented in his pressure. But for Praggnandhaa, it's